Why are you here on this masterclass? Make some money? How many of you here to make some money? Get out of? Good one. Get out of debt. Okay. Mark, you want to get out of debt? What else? Melanie, why are you here? Aiden. Mark, we know why you're here. To learn about how to make money. Lovely. In the right place. Money, just dollar signs. Build a side hustle, spend time with family. Hello, Miho. Okay. Rightio then. We better do that, shall we? So let's I'll share the screen with you here. We'll get stuck into this. Alrighty. I'd love to know in the chat, where are you tuning in from? Pop in the chat for me. Where are you based? GA USA, Canada, Ontario. Do you know, Amy, I went to University of Western Ontario. I know.
Me too.
Did you? We're
I'm sure we were
alumni.
years apart though.
Yeah, but we're alumni. I went to law
Yeah,
school.
we are.
There you go.
That's where you
Oh,
did law school?
yeah,
I did
some.
half my undergrad there, but
What year?
I took a long time. I graduated in 2001 or two.
Okay, I was there in 2006.
Hmm.
Ireland. There you go. Brizzy, Ontario. Oh, we got a few from Ontario. All right, great, excellent. All right, so yeah, represent. Okay, go the Maple Leafs. The three secrets to starting a profitable side hustle in 30 days or less from your phone without any prior skills, even if you're super busy and don't have time. So if you're someone who wants to save between 300 and 600 a month, wants to earn money from home without having to start a business or work away from family, wants to travel more without having to pay full price, and wants to grow as a person, make more friends, and have fun, then you're in the right place. Stay to the end, and we're going to have to bribe you to stay to the end. We're going to give you a copy of my book, Money Grows on Trees, worth $42 on Amazon for free with a special link. Disclaimer, what I'm going to teach you on today's class, or show you rather, is only works if you're coachable and put it into action. Who am I? My name is Lloyd J. Rice, leading financial coach here in Australia, prolific author, podcast, Money Grows on Trees, host of the Money Grows on Trees podcast, and became #1 best-selling international author. We beat Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, and we even outsold Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek to become #1 in in the world. So Alicia and I, my wife here, you can see her there. I've been doing this around the world for a long period of time. In fact, 12 years, or 12 years in April. And we've been able to really live a juicier life because of what I'm going to show you. Okay. So we've walked the path and now I'm going to show you the path. Okay. And so part of what drove me when I was younger is I always would go on holidays, a vacation, and I would get to the end of the vacation and I'd have a sinking feeling in my stomach that I have to go back to some other life. How many of you have felt the same way before, one time or another? You've been on holidays, you're like, I don't want to come back. I don't want to go back to my old life. That was me. I felt that way. And I realized that I had built a life that I didn't like to the point where I never wanted to go back to it. So part of my drive and motivation to build a different life was the fact that I now leave holidays or vacations. I still take them, but we come and I'm excited to come home. So that's really interesting. So that was our objective. And if you have that same objective and mission, I'm going to teach you or show you exactly how we started doing that. All right. But let me ask you a question. If you had financial freedom, that means money and time are of no object. What would say perhaps the top 5 things you would do? Pop in the chat for me. What are the top 5 things you would do? If you had financial freedom right now? Travel more? Where would you travel to? Give me the juice. Help animals, family, friends. I mean, yeah.
Thailand.
You want to go to Thailand? Phuket. You want to go to that resort, huh?
I do.
That's Le Meridian. Go there.
I want to backpack around Thailand.
Oh, nice. Travel, retire early. Mel, you want to retire? You're like, get me out. Okay. What do you do for work, Mel? Just out of curiosity, if you're open to popping in the chat. Aiden wants to help others and travel. Great. Japan, big trip. I'm going to Japan on Thursday, Timmy. I'll let you know what it's like. Pay off debt and travel. Everyone wants to pay off debt and travel. This is great. Okay. Oh, you're a financial planner. Hey, how good. Wonderful. I own an accounting business. Not that I'm a planner, but I did my CFA level 2 charter. That's exciting. Great. I would be curious to know what all the rest of you do too. When you get the blues, come on, get rhythm. Like, why is Lloyd so happy? How dare he? Director of Staffing Agency, Canada. Okay. My question to you guys, if you're not open to putting what you do, support work and disability, is this what you've dreamed of doing? Interesting. Yeah. I never dreamt to like I became a lawyer and I was like someone asked me, is that always what you wanted to do? I'm like, no, yeah, never. I don't know how that happened. Like, how do I get out of this? Okay, cool. So, the reason I ask you that is just so you can start to think about, well, actually, what would I do? What would I want to do with money and time or an object? What would I do with my life? Because when you are building wealth, it's about life design, really, at the end of the day. So, how do you get to those things? How do you travel more? How do you pay more debt off? How do you start to live a juicier life, something that's more adventurous and exciting, and at the same time helps more people at scale and be able to give you some level of freedom? And it's really it boils down to the way you make money. So there's a story of two chaps in a village whose job it was to fetch water, and every day they carried buckets from the well to the village, and they only got paid when the water was delivered. No delivery meant no income. Their names were Bill and Bob. So they'd be doing this together for years. One day Bill said, I have money, but I have no time. I want to travel, live more, and stop trading hours for buckets. And then he discovered something. A nearby village didn't fetch water anymore. They built a pipeline. The water flowed automatically, and he had found the blueprint. And he said to Bob, I'm going to build this pipeline. And Bob replied, that sounds risky. I think I'll stick to what I know. So Bill starts building the pipeline alone. It was slow, messy, and frustrating. But Bill knew one thing. It had already worked somewhere else. And then he realized, or had another realization, he didn't need to do it alone anymore. So he invited others and shared the rewards. Because 10% of a watermelon beats 100% of a grape. With a team, progress accelerated. One day, they turned on the tap. A tiny trickle of water came out. The village paid them $50. Most people would have quit right there. Bill didn't, because he was still fetching water during the day. He's still getting paid from his day job and building the pipeline in the evenings. There was almost no financial risk. If it failed, nothing changed. But if he never tried, he knew he'd fetch water forever. Eventually, the pipeline worked. The water replaced his income. Bill stopped fetching water. Bob didn't. This isn't a story about water. It's a story about income. Most people are still carrying buckets, trading time for money, hoping one more trip fixes everything. The pipeline was never risky, doing nothing was. The real secret was the blueprint. He didn't invent it. He modeled what already worked. And that's exactly what we did. And it's exactly what I'm going to show you on this class. I went to university and became a lawyer, got an MBA. I landed a meh paying job in Abu Dhabi, and on paper I'd made it, and by all accounts I thought I had too. But in reality I was just fetching water, and I was commuting 3 hours a day to and from work, 5 days a week, and my income was capped. No matter how hard I worked, I could only carry so many buckets. I did that for 4 years, and it slowly drained the life out of me. I had some money, but I had no time. So I changed careers. I got out of that, jumped out of the frying pan into the fire, and got into property sales and marketing, running a small business with my dad. Here you can see. I earned more money because I had higher skills, but I was still fetching water. With my suit on, office 6 days a week, more flexibility, more income, but still no real freedom because I was only as good as my last sale. And that's when the real question hit me. I knew I needed a pipeline. something that made money without me being there. So I started investing in shares because shares pay dividends, money that shows up without you clocking in. That was my exit plan, my stop fetching water strategy. But there was a problem. It would take decades. I was 31 years of age. I didn't want to wait till I was 65 to start living. That's the script we've been handed. Work now, live later. I wasn't okay with that. So I stayed open to a different way. That's when something unexpected happened. My sister tried a nutrition product. It came through a physiotherapist who was working with the Olympic ski team at the time, including the director of the Australian Institute of Sport Dietitians, Danny Catania. My sister was a nurse and a busy mum, not an athlete. And her results were undeniable. More energy, better shape, and something she could actually stick to. At the same time, my wife Alicia was struggling. Low energy, diet confusion, busy life. We tried everything. Salads, calorie cutting, caffeine pills, nothing worked long term. Then she tried this, and it worked. She lost 8 kilos. And over a decade later, she's still in incredible shape. And I'll be honest, I wasn't a fitness guy. I didn't even own a pair of gym shoes. I liked beer too much. And at the age of 31, my body stopped forgiving me. But we followed the system together. No extremes, no guesswork, just consistency. And I lost 12 kilos. For all the Americans and Canadians on the call, that's 24 pounds. In 49 days, with no exercise, not even a single push-up. So I got a skinnier waist, and because I'd shifted what I was eating, I got a fatter wallet. My sister said, "Are you saving money?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Do you also want to make some money?" And I said, "Is the Pope Catholic?" Yes, how do I do it? She said, "Refer some people to this same system and you'll get paid." I said, "Great, how?" She said, "Just follow these simple steps." I said, "Okay." Here's us in real life following the simple steps. Now, when I started following the simple steps, they were simple for everybody else except for me, because I learn slow. I don't learn good. And so it took me a while to figure it out. I'm like, okay, well, let's see if I can follow these steps a bit longer and a bit longer. And eventually I figured it out. And what had happened to us was I kind of forgot a little bit about it after 2 weeks. I helped some people get started. And then I picked up my phone one night after we were having dinner at this great Irish restaurant where we live. And I picked up my phone, opened my banking app, and lo and behold, in my banking app was $400. And I remember the night just picking it up and kind of being like taken back by the fact what we've been able to earn just by doing that from our phones. And I remember showing my friends at the table what I'd earned, and they were like, "What is that?" I was like, "Actually, it's this thing that I've been doing, and a couple of friends got started, and I got paid." And so they thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. And I thought to myself that night, I thought, what if we could earn $400 every week? And then my mind started thinking, well, that's 20,000 a year. And then my mind started realizing if we take that and invest into a broad-based index fund of some sort, which have returned about 10% per annum on average since 1957, that we could compound that 20,000 a year and build $1 million in 16 years. It was mathematics. And that's how my mind works. And I was like, well, this is a good idea. And part of that process was that there was no downside because we were already using the product. It already worked. It was nice. Others were being helped, and there was no financial risk. We didn't have to take any debt. We didn't have to buy a business. We didn't have to do anything. We just do it right from our phones. So that I was like, well, this is what in finance it's what's called an asymmetric return. It's where there's upside and pretty much no downside. uh, and that was what kind of got us on this journey. And what we did was we kept doing it and we kept getting better and better and better. And we kind of built this, global customer base over time from our phones here in Australia all over the world. And we had a lot of fun doing it. And so we've been able to earn some weeks of, over 9,000 in a week. And I think that's really interesting because, I went to school with I went to university with doctors who have become surgeons. Obviously I'm a lawyer. I went to school with lawyers, people, and a lot of these professionals, mining engineers, they can all make money, but none of them have any freedom. And you have to really be at the top sea brass level in a corporation to make that kind of gangster money. And if not, you've got to be a business owner, which does take a tremendous amount of risk depending on what kind of business you're building. So I thought this was kind of cool in the sense that we were able to stay in our jobs, so to speak. Alicia was 9 to 5 paralegal, and I was in my property business with my dad doing property sales. But we were able to stay there and build this on the side. And what's fascinating is, like there is the ability to make gangster money. It's nothing more than the scalability with online, social media and online networks with a good product that people can share with others, and it just scales over time. And opportunities like that weren't really available before 2008, 2009, because that's really when things started to shift in online commerce. So like all of these traditional ways of making money that we've been brought up to do, that we learned at university, all of a sudden were B grade. Like we were making more than a brain surgeon who just spent 10 years of their life, it was just crazy. So I was like, this is interesting. And it completely transformed our life. But before I get into the details of really how we did that, what happened was initially is I tried it. That's the first step. I got a skinnier waist, lost weight. Then we started saving money, which is always a good thing, I think, because we shifted what we're eating. And then we started to deploy this and make money. So there was kind of like three solutions we could get. We got a health solution, we had a budgeting and money saving solution, and we had a make money solution. And I think that was just solving three problems all at once. So that was good. And that's what we took. We took some of that extra cash flow, not all of it, but a fair substantial amount, anytime we could, and we invested it and we built a multiple million dollar portfolio just in a taxable account that pays us passive income through dividends every quarter. And that money just comes to us as another pipeline. And so you see a lot of people earning income like that, and I'm sure Melanie does see this a lot too, and they've got nothing to show for it because they just make so much income and there's just nothing there. So one of the things that I'm proud to say is when we discovered a way to earn extra money, we respected that and we appreciated it and we were grateful for it. And we thought, well, let's not get rich twice. Let's just do it once because it seems pretty hard. So let's just do it once properly. And so we've been methodical. That's why I play the song Rhythm at the start of this because it's just get some rhythm in your life about building because wealth is built steadily over time, consistently with consistent action and patience and so forth. And that's kind of what we've done, and that's what we teach and impart to others. A framework that is real and not based on hype and BS. And so that's what this is about. And that's allowed us, while we're doing that, to also live life in a certain way so that we're not saving it all up for a particular retirement day where we decide to start living. We started finding some balance in what we were doing. And that's why we can kind of show these cool photos. So we've been teaching people this in person all around the world for many years, and now we do it online through this very webinar and this Zoom. So that's all good for us, but how do you do it? And so it's really based on a simple money framework that we really learned from Sharon Lechter. Sharon Lechter was commissioned by two presidents to be the head of financial literacy in North America. She's obviously the co-author of the #1 best-selling financial book of all time, Rich Dad Poor Dad. She's there on the original cover. She was on my podcast. She's a wonderful lady. Everyone calls her grandma, and you can listen to the episode if you like. But I said after at the end, I said, "What's the one thing you can give us, Sharon, that people need to know?" She said, "You got to buy assets," and I believe that. I believe it in my heart. You got to be an owner who buy assets. But the challenge people face is where's the free cash flow they've got to buy them? And I think, well, this is interesting. Maybe we can help bridge the gap here with what we've done. And I was happy to know that Sharon then re-endorsed my latest book, Become Time Rich, on the back there. So that was really cool. Bit of a full circle because I read that book when I was 16. Now, she wrote this other book called Cash Flow Quadrant, which is where the framework lives. And some of you may have seen this before, but you may not have seen how people have deployed it and actually got it going. So I'll share it with you. The quadrants split into 4 quadrants, E, S, which are active incomes. So E is employee and S is self-employed. And so when I was in Abu Dhabi working for the Formula One Grand Prix circuit at that job, I was an E, and I jumped out of there because my income was capped, and I jumped into S, and I thought this is going to be better, and it was very much the same. So I had to actively be there to make the money. Now this is called linear income because you can only earn more income to the extent you put more time and effort into it. Now the challenge with that is we only have 24 hours in a day. So we can't scale our income beyond our time. And that's why it's linear in nature. It doesn't scale past time. So it's on the same plane. And then Sharon and Robert spoke in their book about, hey, there's other quadrants to this game. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. So the B quadrant stands for big business, is where you're not doing all the work yourself. It's where you've got people and systems helping you. And you can generate recurring income based on the business model, right? And so that was interesting. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. There are ways to get what's called leverage. You can leverage people and systems and capital to generate income that is detached from your time. And that's an interesting philosophy and concept. So I was like, okay, well, we need to explore this B quadrant, build some sort of side business that's recurring in nature. Um, and some are good and some are not good, right? And then the I quadrant is called investor, and that's where your money makes money. You're effectively buying income when you're an investor. You can obviously do it in real estate. You buy a piece of real estate, you generate income from a tenant, which is great, and it grows in value from the land appreciation. And of course, you can buy shares, which is really where you're buying a piece of a large public company where there's people and systems working to generate profits, and you get to participate in the growth and the profits as well as the if there's any losses. But you can buy a basket of stocks, let's say an index fund, that allows you to continually buy income fairly safely, consistently over long periods of time, so long as the economy does well. And that is how you buy income. So objectively, what we wanted to do was, while we were living in the E and the S, we wanted to build the B and the I. Give me a thumbs up if this is making sense. Great. So we're in the E and the S, and we wanted to build a B and buy an I. That was it, because we want to get more leverage. Okay, so we're going to move from the left to the right. But a lot of people don't do that because they, for whatever reason, mentally have just not decided to. There are various reasons as to why people wouldn't want to do that. I don't know what they are. For me, it's kind of like crazy, but that's just me, I guess. I think it's crazy to do the left. People think it's crazy to do the right. So here's the secrets and how we did it. The first secret that I'd like to share is that a lot of people come even onto this webinar and they want to do things with money like pay off debt or, I want more money to do this or that. Completely fair. But I feel like people seek it in the wrong places and they're always seeking money. It's a little bit like a comedian that's always trying to seek laughs. It's an endless goal at the end of the rainbow type scenario. It's a mirage because whatever you chase, it's fleeting. So a comedian has to tell a joke to get a laugh. And what I mean by that is if you want to find more money, you must look at your own behavior first. So you don't actually manage money, you manage your own behavior. And your new behavior then conjures up money. It's a fascinating concept. So it's about focusing on the leading indicator of behavior. And for most people, if I looked at your bank statements right now, not all of you, but a lot of you, I'm sure, I might see on there Amazon, 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 Uber Eats, Uber Eats, Uber Eats. There's a fairly good chance I'll see some things where it's the behavior that's causing money to leak out of your vessel. And that's because we all depend heavily now on convenience, how to save time with spending more money. And the challenge with convenience is it costs more than just money. It starts to cost you your energy and happiness levels if you're someone like me who is eating all the wrong things for too long because of convenience. So there's me when I was fatter. And then I started eating different. So that was the behavior shift. If I couldn't learn how to eat differently with this product, then I'm really not going to find any more money because money requires behavior change. So that was probably the moment in 2014 where we became multimillionaires, is because I was willing and open to shift and try something new. And that's really what most people aren't able to do. So we did that. That resulted in me getting a skinnier waist. And because of that, I wasn't spending as much money at BWS Bottle Shop. I wasn't spending as much money on takeaway. I wasn't frivolous with our spending. We were actually just saving money because a $4.50 smoothie was a lot cheaper than a $12, $15 Macca's meal, as an example. I'm not saying I eat Macca's every day, but in Australia, Macca's stands for McDonald's. Okay. So that's what enabled us to save 300 to 600 a month. That one move. So for someone who's on here to learn how to save money, that's what we did. Okay, so you don't manage money, you manage your behavior, and the new behavior creates the money because you already have the money coming in, right? This is where do we shift our behavior. Secret number 2, when it comes to the B quadrant, which is what a lot of people want to develop, is how do I make extra money on the side, especially now after inflation and housing costs and all the things that are happening. They're trying to seek a way to do it. But here's the real secret. Just like what Bill did in the story with the pipeline when they built it, they modeled someone else. So the trick is to ethically steal someone else's product. This is the trick. You've got to model what's already working. So when someone comes to me, because I've got other programs I coach around, and they say, Lloyd, I'm going to make money in doing this. I'm like, cool. Who else is doing it? They go, what do you mean? I'm like, we've got to find someone else who's already doing it. They go, why? I'm like, because you don't want to be an inventor. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, you don't want to be a prospector, like a, what's it called? Uh, I've forgotten the name of it. A pioneer. You don't want to be a pioneer. And they say, what do you mean? I'm like, well, let me tell you the story of the American West. Those that went across to California early in the 1800s have arrows in their back. They didn't survive. I want to be the people that go there and like maybe like 1899 or something like that when there's some roads there and there's no more Indian like there's no war Indian wars going on. There's I'm probably going to live. I want to be that person because in the world of business and money, to be a pioneer is extremely risky, just like what was to cross the American West in the early 1800s. So they say, "Oh, I'm getting it now." I'm like, "Okay, so who's already crossed the plains and shown us what works? Let's just go down the same trail. Let's not, we don't want to turn into the Donner family." Okay? You don't know the story of the Donner family, go watch it. It's interesting. Very sad, but so anyway, you get the picture. So we have to model what is already working. So everyone wants to leave their job, but no one wants to model what already works. So to make more money in the B quadrant income, we don't have to invent Uber. We don't have to go and open a shop down at the local market and sell our grandma's macaroon recipe. We don't want to stay overwhelmed in invention mode. What we want to do is steal what is already working. Okay. And so there are some things that you could consider that would work as an online mechanism because it gives you a lot of freedom. So for example, you could model e-commerce and dropshipping. You could model Amazon. You could model something doing digital courses. You could model a book, although as a best-selling author, I can tell you there's no money in books. You could model coaching and consulting. You could model YouTube. We make $400 a month on YouTube, but it costs us 11K a month to run it. You could model influencing, but if you're like me and you can't dance and talk about skincare at the same time, it's not going to work so well for you. You could do podcasting, but as a top tier podcaster, 1% in the world, there's not much money in that unless you're Diary of a CEO. Even then, he makes more money from his book probably and his coaching than he does from his podcast. And you could do high ticket sales, but I was already doing that. And so I was looking for more leverage. There's no leverage in high ticket sales. Um, and so sadly, there are not a lot of things where people have proven that they can earn income and earn it again in a recurring way that doesn't come with a tremendous amount of skill requirements or money to start up. And so these are the two that were kind of left over. It's like affiliate marketing where you're actually promoting someone else's digital or physical product and getting paid. It's been around forever. Or network marketing, which is much the same. However, you do get paid on other people's efforts over time from a commissionable structure, depending on the company and the structure. Okay. And there's some good ones and not so good ones, obviously, in all industries. So these are the two that we've kind of left over. Now, to scale your income beyond your time, you need help from both other people and systems. Now, with affiliate marketing, it's just all your effort. So, for example, I have a best-selling book. We've sold 30,000 copies of this book. It's called Money Buys Happiness. We have an affiliate link with that. So if people share the affiliate link, we pay them $9 US for what they've made in the book, and then some of the order bumps. So that's how they go make money selling this book. It's someone else's product. It's ours. They sell it. They make money. That's affiliate marketing. Now, some affiliate products like that, they're not recurring. But also, you've got to do all the selling yourself. You have no help. Whereas with network marketing, you get to sell a product that someone didn't invent or create. You didn't invent it like this, for example, and you get to sell it and promote it. People buy it. They then rebuy it again because it's consumable, so that's good. But also, those customers can refer others, and the company will pay you a small commissionable rate on that too. So you get a lot of people leverage in this, okay? And that's the difference. And that's why if you go to page 114 on Robert and Sharon's book, it's right there. One of the secrets on how to build a B quadrant income is get involved in network marketing. Okay. The challenge with that is most people's experience with that has been their parents who sold stuff out of their garage in 1985. And for some reason, they've not graduated from that to 2026. And so they still think that phones are not this anymore. They think phones are like Ericsson or Nokia 3210s. And they're treating this industry the same way. And so we've got to drag them into the 21st century, into 2026, to say, hey, by the way, there's a new kid on the block. How you do this is different to how you did it in 1985. And so that's part of the process of learning that this is probably the most effective way to make extra money now in 2026. So Jim Rohn, who's Tony Robbins' mentor, built his fortune doing this. Bob Proctor, before he passed away, was in the same company as us. Russell Brunson has been part of 19 companies and owns one called Prove It. Jesse Itzler, who I spoke on stage with, is a billionaire. I was with him in Denver speaking on stage. His wife, Sarah Blakely, is a billionaire, and they both understand and do this model. And same as Darren Hardy, who trained us, who wrote the Compound Effect, who trained us in Hawaii, and Brennan Burchard. These are all high-achieving people, okay? So they're all behind this. And Tony Robbins came to one of our events in Vegas and trained with us. So you save money here by trialing the product and changing what you're eating. You're then following a simple system of you're implementing like a business in a box that's ready to go, that has a lot of leverage already. And here's why it's effective. One, the products are provided and proven. You don't need to invent it. Two, they're consumable, so when people buy, they rebuy again every month, and it creates a recurring income stream, which is where freedom comes from. It's a pipeline income. Global shipping's automated, which means you don't have to go down to the post office. I wanted to get, say, for example, I enroll Melissa, she's in Canada. I didn't have to go to the post office and send her stuff. I just sent a link, and it's drop shipped to her front door. I mean, for many years, I didn't even meet her, right? No financial risk. We didn't have to go and borrow money against a house or get a mortgage or borrow money. It pays weekly. In my job, I was paid monthly. No qualifications needed because I've got them all and they don't work that good. Part-time effort. You can do this while you're in your job, while you've got a family, while you're in the bathroom. Free travel. For those of you who want to travel more, we've earned 30 international free trips through the company from the performance you do, and they give you free trips. Just last week, we took 10 of our top performing team members on a Whitsunday cruise in Australia for free. And a lot of us are going to Thailand this year for free. We've been all over the world for free. So if free travel is your thing, this is the best way to do it. We've had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of travel we haven't had to pay for. Okay? Tax deductions. If you have a home-based business, you can get your new phone and it's tax deductible. You can get your computer and it's tax deductible. Some of your car payment, tax deductible. Some of your rent, tax deductible. Some of your, there's lots of things that are tax deductible if you have a home-based business. Mentorship and accountability, personal development and growth, teamwork, compensations automated, access to an incredible fun network, but also a simple marketing system to follow so that if you come in and you don't really know how to do stuff, you can still succeed and win. So it's designed for people who are literally fresh, just have no idea. And it will enable you to win. Okay. So what is network marketing exactly? Well, let me ask you a question and pop in the chat for me. Have you, a yes or a no? Have you ever referred anyone to anything? Yes or no? Great. Excellent. What if you could refer your family and friends to Costco? Or what if you could refer your family and friends to Whole Foods or Woolworths? And every time they open an app and ordered, you were paid a commission. Pop in the chat. Would you do it? Heck yeah, you would. Heck yeah, you would. Of course. Well, just so you know, we've been doing that with our very own health store for almost 12 years. Okay. We order from our own health store and others do too. So we get in shape and others get in shape the same way. And every month they order. And that's what creates the income. Okay. And it's not that complex to understand. It's pretty fun and simple. How we did that with no financial risk would be a great question to ask. And here's how we did it. In 2014, when my sister referred us to the product, it happened to come from this company. It's based in Arizona. They do all the heavy lifting and hard stuff. Okay, we partnered with a company called Isagenix. They're a privately owned and profitable company in Arizona. They're all over the world and sold billions in products, paid billions in income, privately owned, been around for 23, 24 years. Very effective and great culture. Okay, and great products. So that's what we did. So when we help someone, they create the product, they ship it, they do all that stuff, and then they pay us. There is no financial risk of us doing it. It's just they take on the hard businessy stuff, right? And they pay us to be the marketing arm because they don't spend any money on traditional advertising. And this affiliate model, this network marketing model is very, very popular nowadays. Even my gym started doing it. So here's what happened. I used a product, I got a result that I was happy with, and then I simply shared those results with some friends via text message, and then they clicked the link and ordered, and the company did everything from that point on, including paying me. And that's been happening now every single week for 12 years. I was talking to Amy earlier on a different call, and she said to me, hey, I think I've been paid pretty much every single week since October. And she's very new to this, very new. And she's been paid it's just so accessible, and exciting and fun, right? Because you get a skinny waist and you get a fatter wallet. Now, I personally feel, based on all the experience I've had investing and building businesses, because I've got 5 companies, is I found personally this one for us was by far the lowest risk and highest return opportunity on planet Earth. Because from this, everything else has emanated. Our body and health's emanated. Our network's grown and emanated. It's given us capital to invest and start other businesses. It's given us the skills and self-belief and leadership skills to build other things. And so it all started here, and that's why we continue to do it 12 years later. It's wonderful. We have so much fun with it, and we still travel the world doing it. It's great. So I think it's the best, and that's why I really still run these webinars and do this because I just love that we have a vehicle that can help everyday people like it helped us, and that's what I get excited about. But of course, it only works when you do. What a shame. It's not like a passive vehicle where you put the money in and it makes money. You have to get behind and do it. But you got your own pace. Like you want to spend 10 minutes a day in the toilet? No, go for it. It also goes wherever you go. Wherever you take this, it will go with you too. So it's business in a pocket. It's amazing. And it's just gone with us wherever we go. It's a wonderful thing. So you save money here by changing your behavior using the product. You then follow some steps, modeling what already works for others. Just like, oh, this worked for Lloyd and Alicia. Maybe it'll work for me too. Yeah, there's a path we've already cut down across to California. You can just follow the same path. Get the gold. Come in, there's gold in them hills. Let's go. All right, secret number 3. Invest your side hustle profits. Aha. This is the difference between those who do this and do it well long term and find rhythm and those that don't. We could have taken the extra cash. No joke. Could have bought a Ferrari. Definitely could have gone on more trips. Could have gone and traveled till we're blue in the face. Could have gone to Europe, right? On cruises and blah, 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 blah. But could have gone shopping, bought more Yves Saint Laurent handbags and Rolex watches and whatever. We could have. Of course you can. However, we just want to get rich once. So we decided we'd plant a money tree. And our chosen money tree happened to be in shares because we just found it so accessible and simple and easy. Set up a brokerage account, start putting the small amounts of income you're making in there and scale it over time. And now we have these fun money parties on Monday mornings with black ties on, throw money in the air. It's just, why wouldn't you take your money and plant a tree that makes more money? I don't know. That just makes so much sense to me. So what we discovered was the power of $500 when you compound it at, let's say, for example, a 10% annual average return over a 16-year period, even if you start from zero, that will turn into $1 million portfolio. And if you do the sums, it's basically 3 times faster than a general savings account, depending where you live. In Australia, it's 3 times faster. In North America, it's 5 times faster. So it's just a better way to grow your money. And equally safe, because the only real way to lose money is if the world ends. Because all the top 500 companies in North America would have to go broke on the same day for you to really go to zero, effectively. So that's why I love it so much. We don't have to get debt. We don't have to buy a property portfolio. We don't have to worry about tenants. It's just go, let's go. Open your app, put your money in, repeat until you're a millionaire. That's pretty much the strategy. That's what we did. It's not rocket science. That is what we did. Okay. And we're excited about our first 100K. We're excited about our first 500K. We're excited about our first million, of course. I wrote a book about that called Money Grows on Trees. And then we're continually excited for more achievements as we go. And this will not stop. This is a strategy you can do forever. Well, till you're like 90, I guess. Whatever. I mean, there's people we do this with, and they're like 85. They bought a house in Tuscany with the money. Like, you just do it till you die. As long as, it's all working well, you just keep repeating the process. When you find a model that works, you don't go and find a new model. You just repeat what works. Okay, so you save money here by changing your behavior and using a different product and saving money on food costs. You then realize you get results from that in health. You share your story with others and they buy, and you follow the systems and processes we've followed to be able to make extra money on the side while staying in your job. You take that extra money and you invest it instead of spending it frivolously like everybody else, and you start to build assets. Or you start to use it to pay off debt, like your mortgage. Up to you. But either which way, it's good to use money to create more money. So why doesn't everyone do this? Let me explain why. One, they turn their nose up at using a product because they just, I don't know, they get all... It's so interesting, actually. It's human psychology. They'll go to McDonald's and eat a cheeseburger, and not once have they ever asked someone what's in the ingredients. But for some reason, they use a health product, and all of a sudden, they flip and want to be scientists overnight. Like, what's in it? Like, do you even know how to, read the compounds? So anyway, they kind of tap themselves out. They get all, they just never make it past that stage. It's kind of like those going to the American West to dig for gold, and they can't get past like, well, what wagon are we going to go on? Like, let's just go. As long as the wagon works. And then if they do that, they get results. They don't want to ever really do businessy stuff. Like they never really want to learn skills in marketing. They never really want to learn skills in selling. They never really want to learn anything. They just really want to just make money with no effort. So they just get stuck there because it requires you to do stuff. Those that kill it, right? That they want to go, yeah, I'm fully coachable, I'm ready to go. Sometimes they choose the wrong vehicle. And they might start an e-commerce business and go, oh my God, I've got $50,000 of product in my garage, I can't move it, I'm dead. I haven't told my wife. Oh my God. And they all of a sudden, the business model they've chosen for the big quadrant is not conducive to them doing it around their job or their kids. So it consumes them and crushes them. Those that do a good job at it though and win there, let's say for example in network marketing or some model, whatever it might be, they do such a great job, they make a ton of money, and of course they blow it. There's a lady we know, she made so much money, she bought a beautiful house, she bought a Porsche 911, and she went through a few difficult seasons. She didn't skill up, she didn't reinvest in herself, didn't really, she forgot that doing the basics is how she got there. And then she went back to being a nurse manager, lost the Porsche, sold the house, and she's back cleaning toilets, whatever she's doing in hospitals. I don't know. Like, but had she have bought assets, it wouldn't have mattered, right? So the wheels fall off it there. So this is as you're crossing to the American West into California in the 1800s. Arrows in the back, arrows in the back, arrows in the back, arrows in the back. And why I run this class is because I want to turn them into green ticks. Hey, this is a good product that works, that will work for you. You don't have to worry. Okay, cool. Olympians use this stuff. Okay. Boom. In the middle, by the way, I'm going to teach you some of the skills that's going to let you fall in love with marketing and selling so you're not afraid of it. Oh, okay, that's cool. Also, we're going to do it in a model that you can build around your kids and any job you've got because it's built in spare time and there's no financial risk and it'll pay you weekly and it'll do this and this. Cool. And you make money like Amy's in the last few weeks. You make money in the first few weeks. Okay, cool. And by the way, we're gonna make sure you're a good financial steward of that. So we're gonna, hey, invest some. Okay, thanks. So each part of what we want to teach and impart is we want to make sure you don't get arrows in your back on this journey. Because we've already walked the path. So that's where we want to steer you. But of course, people don't do that because they're not coachable. They already know everything. They're like teenagers. So they go nowhere because they've got all this, they don't have the steps to give them the confidence to take any action. And they get overwhelmed with information and stay stuck in analysis paralysis. So let me ask you a question. Would you like some help? Yes? If you'd like some help, pop a yes in the chat. Hey, yeah! I love the energy. Yes, please. Nice manners. Okay, cool. So we've got a program for busy mums and dads and any everyday folks to get financial results they thought were impossible for them. Now it's your turn. So I'm going to share some results of some of the folks who have got results from joining this webinar and coming to our program. We've got tons and tons and tons, but here's a couple. Shane's a former police officer. They came in, their highest week's 1,800. They came on this very webinar 3 years ago. They've since earned extra money, built a share portfolio, started building a property portfolio, and they have traveled the world. We took this picture of Disney World of Kylie and Aaron. They're from New Zealand. Highest week's 2,500, although I think they've done a 10K week. And they build this around they've both got their jobs. They build this and they travel the world and they love traveling. Katrina Wood, she's a world pro fitness model. She's a teacher, primary school teacher. Her highest week's 4,000 and she's built a whole full-time income doing this to the point where she dropped casual. She paid off a mortgage. She's just doing more with her life now and she's traveled all over the world. So it's really effective for everyday people. So there are those who want to make it happen and you're ready to you're ready to do it differently and not do it alone. And you're ready to shake up your health and your finances for once. And you're like, come on, I'm going to shake it up. We've got a special opportunity for you. It's called Side Hustle School. And we say it's the last training you'll ever need to start earning extra income. Facts. If you decide you want to do this with us, it's a 6-week program. It kicks off in about 2 weeks. And if you decide you want in, here's what you're going to get. Pay close attention because I do have people say, you mean I get that and that and that? Oh, yes. So pay close attention. So here's what you're going to get if you decide you want to do it. To implement what I taught you, of course. Firstly, the proven product. Okay? You need a proven product to market. not any, in an industry where people actually need it, in an area where there's a lot of problems, because that's really where we help make money. You make money by helping people solve problems. Wellness, beauty, biohacking, vitamins in the health space. What's the product? Let me just play this video that explains it better than I can.
Okay, so maybe you've seen some before and after images of people who have had awesome results using Isagenix. There are a lot of them. Or maybe something really got your attention. Maybe you're seeing yourself in some of these photos, looking to shed a few pounds or make a lifestyle change, and now you want to hear more. Great, that's what I'm here for, the more part. If I was you, I'd be asking all kinds of questions. Like, do Isagenix weight loss systems really work? Which is a great one to start with because the answer is yes. They totally work. Our weight loss systems help burn fat, fight cravings, improve overall nutrition, and sleep. But you don't have to take my word for it. There are tons of clinical studies that prove Isagenix works. In fact, the University of Illinois at Chicago published a study that found that after 8 weeks of following our weight loss program, people lost 56% more weight compared to eating a heart-healthy diet, and 2 times as much visceral fat loss. And if you don't speak medical, that's the fat around your abdomen, which can be the toughest fat to lose. And that's just one study. I could go on and on about studies published by Arizona State, University of Pittsburgh, and Skidmore College about how people lost more body fat, improved cardiovascular health markers. So does this plan work? Yes. But now you're probably asking, how does the system work? Again, another great question. And I'll answer that question by asking this one. We all do different things to feel better, right? Well, we built our weight loss system on these 3 pillars. Our first pillar is our superfood isolene shake. These are super nutrient-dense meals that help you feel fuller longer. They're packed with protein from happy grass-fed New Zealand cows, or for our plant-based people, happy fava beans, mung beans, and peas to help you maintain healthy weight and build lean muscle. You will love how they taste if you're one of those people who like super tasty things. Our second pillar is adaptogens. If you ask Mother Nature, hey, got anything to help with stress? She'd pour you a glass of our Ionic Supreme or crack open a bottle of our adaptogen elixir. These help your body adapt to stress. See what we did there? Adaptogens have a ton of hard to pronounce good stuff that naturally fights stress. We're talking like ashwagandha, eleuthero root, rhodiola, and more. These may be hard to say for your mouth, but the rest of your body is going to love them. Finally is our Cleanse for Life detox support. With our weight loss system, you will practice intermittent fasting, which is great for your body. And on these cleanse days, Cleanse for Life gives your body super plant botanicals to, well, cleanse it. This gentle detoxification supports your body in removing toxins with things like aloe vera, peppermint, adaptogens, and berries. Okay, so I answered 2 big questions. Now it's my turn. What are you waiting for? With the Isagenix weight loss systems, you're going to feel better, look better, sleep better, be better. That's a whole lot of better we've crammed into easy to follow systems. There. If you still have questions you want answered, we can send you so much more information. All you have to do is ask.
All right, that's the summary. Nice and simple, really. What would it be worth to you to be able to help a friend, like we helped our friend Jared here, lose 120 pounds just following this system? And what would it be worth to you to be able to help anyone you come across who's struggling in this area to get results? So here's the proven product. That's what it looks like. That would last about 14 days flat full tilt, which would replace 2/3 of your groceries. And if you space it out, maybe 30, but it's a taste tester and to allow you to trial it. Now, if you were to actually invent that, it would cost you over $1 million for FDA approvals, etc., pricing, packaging. It would cost a fair bit. So you get to have your own product to market, but you get to be your own customer. So you get to test it out. Okay, so it covers all those things. Dairy-free options available for vegans as well. It's low in sugar, less than half an apple, and it's gluten-free too, because I'm gluten intolerant. So there are certain what makes it so effective is it just really serves a lot of people to eat better. Okay, so that's the first thing. Yes, you still eat food with it. You still eat regular food too. It's okay. All right. So proven. When you get that, the challenge people face is that they go, far out, this is epic. I'm getting results. This is awesome. This is easy. Great. And they get excited. And then they don't know how to get other people excited to then want to do it too. And that's where we actually also give you this. So when you have that proven product to market, you're going to need a step-by-step proven marketing, selling, shipping, and payment system to follow. You're going to need it. right? So what would be worth to you not to have to invent it or create it? What would it be worth to you to just have the app and the steps to follow? What would it be worth to you to have the automated shipping ready to go? The technology, the website, the links, everything, a business in a box, plug and play, 10 minutes, you're set up and running with your dashboard, ready to go. What would be worth to you not to have chase payments or send invoices? It's just, hey, by the way, well done on helping someone start, you got paid. This is the email that comes every Monday. It's congratulations, you've been paid. That's a nice email to get every Monday. So you get the proven automated marketing, selling, shipping, and payment system. We have step-by-steps for you to follow to get results. Plus, all the technology and shipping, everything is done for you. It's ready to go, including the payments every week. It's crazy good. So the value of you having to create that yourself, it would cost you 50 grand probably to set up your own e-com business from scratch. So that's highly valuable even at $10,997. Now, when you have that, the proven marketing, selling, and shipping payment system, you need coaching and training on how to use it. It's like, here's an amazing bike. Let's give you some bike training now. So you're also going to get training and coaching, the program itself run by industry millionaires. Okay. So what would it be worth to you, instead of sitting in a crowd of 4,000 people and listening to us from stage, what would it be worth to you to have us train you on a Zoom live in detail and in a chat group to hold your hand on the very specific detailed steps to follow that actually get results for you without you having to be in a big hall for 3 days on the other side of the world? So the training is valued because people use this training for the rest of their lives with us. And the training to build this side hustle that we run ourselves over 6 weeks, and they're always replayed, so don't worry, is valued at $12,997 because that's the actual value of it. Like, it's worth more than that because you can deploy these skills for the rest of your life for the next 30 years and make money. You also will need the right environment to succeed, because how many of you know that if you're in the wrong environment at home, toxic you don't have anyone supporting you, it's harder to succeed. So we're going to give you access to a thriving online and offline team culture of friends and family, which is our team. So what would it be worth to you to be able to have access to that for life, forever? Where every quarter we catch up in person, you're welcome to come to one of our events in person. We do go around the world too, occasionally. And you can access the offline community and the online community. Okay. What would it be worth to you to be able to win and earn our own internal team trips? We took our team last week. We took the top 10 on a cruise around the Whitsundays. This is us last week, literally to the day. So I'll just play this quick. Yeah, so we took the top 10 of our team, and there you can see Lewis, he did a belly flop competition and came third. It was amazing. So there you go. Now, we asked some of our team members who were there. And in fact, we took them on a cruise last year on a VIP cruise ship, charter cruise last year. And we asked them just what's one word to explain the team culture and community we have. So this is what they said.
Leadership.
Family.
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 Home. Belonging.
One big family.
Authenticity.
Inspiring. Tribe. Systems.
Connection.
Authenticity.
Possibilities.
All right, that's Franny. You get to know her. She's awesome. And then we've got a Thailand trip coming up. In Australia, New Zealand we have, but of course in the United States and Canada, there's all sorts of different trips to earn. This is an example of the ones that are on the table. All-inclusive trip to Thailand, Club Med, all you can eat and drink for 5 days, plus leadership training, a beautiful Phuket Club Med. I can't tell you how many amazing, beautiful. We've been to Hawaii, Grand Wailea Resort, Maui. It's just amazing destinations. Okay, so you get access to the thriving online, offline team culture and friends and family for life. Okay, so what you'll get out of this, you'll get community and support, extra cash flow, time freedom roadmap to follow that I went through today, self-confidence, more energy, legacy blueprint, legacy building. All right, fun and adventure, AI and tech leverage, trips money can't buy, literally, social media mastery, friends for life, recognition, purpose, impact and contribution, personal growth, leadership skills. And I know what you're thinking. Really? Do you get all that, or you just? But no, you actually get all that. You will get all of that, right? Yeah, you will, if you want it. So that's Side Hustle School, okay? And now, as a bit of a summary, you get the product to use yourself and eat and put to the test, and then help others with. You also get the marketing, selling, shipping, and payment system to follow. Okay, there's business in a box set up in 10 minutes, and you're plugged in and off you go. And then you get coaching on how to use it live coaching and training from us, $12,997, and then you get access to the team culture for life, and an amazing network of people. And so the total value is $26,637. So if my sister had said to me, listen, Lloyd and Alicia, in 2014, this is, you guys are going to get the best bodies you've ever had. You're going to travel the world for free. You're going to level up and skill up and be able to teach people and speak from multiple stages all over the world with some very, very famous people. You're going to then build a multiple $1 million portfolio, make millions of dollars in profit from your side hustle, and then that'll enable you to build into other companies and businesses over time and work from home together and hang out with your dog anytime you want. But it's going to cost you $26,000. What do you think I would have said to her? I said, nah, there's no way I can do all that. Nah, it's not possible. So I wouldn't probably have bought. But had I have known that was definitely going to happen, I would have said, hey, do you take Visa or MasterCard? I think that's the deal of a century. Of course, I'd part with $26,000 to do all that. It's the greatest deal ever. But it's not that. Okay? You can have all that, all sides of school for $2,630. So hands up, how many of you see value for this at $2,630? Like, goddamn, that's good value. Marvelous, excellent. Well, in that case, you're going to love the fact that it's actually only $298. So you can have all that, come into Side Hustle School, participate, get all the stuff that I mentioned right there on the page, and it's $298. Now, if you're in North America, if you're in Canada, it's a bit less. If you're in the USA, it's less again. It's like $250 or something. So I don't know. Maybe instead of going out on the weekend, you just do this. So $298. So how do you get started? All you have to do is message the word ready to the person who invited you to this masterclass, and they will send you the magic link to enroll. Okay? They'll invite you to join the group chat where everything happens, the training, you get access to the Zoom links, etc. You get access to the system. They'll plug you in. Your products will come to your house. It will just fall in place. Once you enroll, you'll be unlocked. Okay? Now, if you get started in the next 15 minutes, you'll also get access to this. 1, free shipping. How good? Save some cash, right? 2, you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can come in, eat all the products, put them to the test, and do 30 days worth of Side Hustle School. And if you don't love it and enjoy it and whatever it is, you just send your stuff back and get a full refund. No questions asked. Full 30-day money-back, no financial risk. So how do you get started? Message the word ready to the person who invited you to this masterclass. They'll send you the magic link to enroll. A list of what you get the product, you get the system, you get the coaching and training, you get the community, and you get the guarantee that if it doesn't work for you, you can get your money back. Okay? This is what people say about Side Hustle School. They flip and love it because it's epic. It's a lot of fun. So what should be $2,630, you're getting today for $298 Australian dollars. That's really what the offer is. It's crazy. Right? We want it to be crazy because we want people to move and start shifting their life. Okay? We don't have to anymore. We really don't have to do it, honestly. But it's so much fun to give them the pathway. I love the fact that Amy and Melissa and so forth, they make money each week doing this on the side. I love the fact they got extra cash flow to invest. I love the fact they're growing. I love the fact they get to travel more. I love that it brings out the best in them. I love all those things. And others on this call too. But, I love that it brings the best out in us. So that's why I love doing this. So here's a cool special deal we have. If you want to upgrade to the 30-day pack, which I would encourage, it gives you enough to cover 2/3 of your groceries for the month. So this whole thing could actually turn out to cost nothing for you, really. It will give you the full 30-day experience with the product. It will give you the very best result ever in your body. And this is the pack we started on. So for a limited time, which is today only, you can actually start for $180 extra. So it's $298 plus $180 Aussie is the full 30-day pack. Plus you still get Side Hustle School, everything else on top. And yes, you still get free shipping. So it's just a little upgrade to help you get a better result, more value, and cover your groceries for 2/3 of the month. So it's a flipping good deal. So that's there and it's available. So if you want that one, just message the word ready, upgrade, when you message the person who invited you to this, and they will send you that link to get that plus everything else. Okay. And it still comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. You can eat it all for the month and still send it back and get a refund. It's amazing. Okay, so that's how you get started. Here's our ethical bribe. Stay to the end. And they say you need 3 hobbies. 1 to keep you creative, 1 to keep you in shape, and 1 to make you money. We want to give you all 3 in 1. That's what we're trying to do here. Okay, that being said, now I've got some time for Q&A. I do have a hard stop at 9:30 that I've gone past, but I will hang around for 5 minutes and do this because I've asked that gentleman just to give me grace for 5 minutes to get on the next call. So, do you have any questions and concerns? Anything's on the table, guys. I'm a pretty open book. Anything you need to ask, ask. Curly ones, controversial ones, I'm all for it. By the way, if you find a better deal in the world, anywhere, please send me the link to the webinar because I'll come along and join it with you. Because it doesn't exist. I stand behind that. It does not exist. No one can do what we're doing for $298. Nobody. There's no questions? All right. How many of you come with us? How many of you coming into Side Hustle School for 6 weeks to learn how to do this and set this up and get this going and make extra cash? Pop a ready in the chat. For those of you who aren't coming, I'd love to know why. And you don't have to tell me off the mute. You can just tell me in the chat if you like. I'd just be curious. If you came here to learn how to make extra money and pay off debts and so forth and travel more, and I've just showed you how to do it for like 200 something bucks, what is holding you back? I would be just so curious. Nice one, Shan. Amy, nice. And it's totally okay. I'm just more than curious than anything else. Is it something I said? Especially with the money back guarantee. Like, just come and suck it and see. You could just test it and measure it. It's wild. Aiden, you're coming in, man. Nice one. Melanie, I haven't got. Are you coming in?
I'm always coming in.
Great. This is exciting. I mean, we're going to have a lot of cool people and you're going to have a lot of fun. And if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. So I want to just make sure that you make sure you send the word ready to the person who sent you the invite to this, and they will send you the link because they're not going to see it in here. Just so you know. So, okay, Melissa's ready. Great. Daniela's ready. Great. Timmy's yes. Tracy ready. Amy ready. Shan ready. Aiden ready. Melanie ready. Already did. Ready. Melanie already did it. Damn. All right. Great. So I did my job here. Let's go and give you the best chance that you're ever going to get to learn how to make extra cash. And I stand by it. And we're committed to you. Okay. So don't forget, kicks off in very soon. And you're going to get access to everything. Just make sure you do that step. We'll get you started. Any questions you have, you can have full access to us in a group chat. Just ask the question. Okay. Don't suffer in silence and be afraid. There's a lot of people who are going to be supporting you and helping you. Okay. So thanks for your attention. And I'll see you on the next webinar. Well, the last one's tonight. And I'll see you guys inside Side Hustle School. Have a great day and evening. Bye.